Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, and what I want you to do, I do think it's important for me to talk about. Yesterday I made 2 videos, so you'll watch those. That's the Tuesday. They're dated. I'm dating the days that you see the videos. I'm dating them. Look at this. What is this? Is nothing, if you could see it. So yesterday in the morning, which was Tuesday, because Monday is a difficult day for me. So I weighed Tuesday morning, but it's still kind of difficult for me. Just mental difficulty. And then I made the nice video in the afternoon after I left the coffee shop. And I felt good. And I am quite disciplined, okay? I don't eat but until 7 o'clock at night, and then I set aside those 2 hours in the evening. Now, I've always been that way. In Firehouse, I always studied during lunch, 11:30 to 1. You know, the guys would eat and watch TV or whatever, and I would read for that, for probably the whole 25 years of the fire department. And then at night. So I always had that, and it's good for you to have that. And so normally, if I'm having a difficult day, so yesterday, those 2 videos you're going to see, which are the teaching videos for the week, I'm going to add some other videos too on links that I did in New Jersey that pertain to the subject, Niels Bohr and physics. But, so then I came home and I thought, you know, this 6 o'clock, this 7 o'clock time, I'm going to read scripture, and it's good for your mind to look forward to that. I heard, you know, you hear things over the years, just a lot of teaching, a lot of preaching, but sometimes you hear an insight that will stick with you. And I had a few of those that I could still remember. And one day I was taking a ride over the bridge here in Corpus, either taking a ride, sometimes I just like to ride over the bridge. You've seen me on videos going that way, North Beach. But I heard on the Christian radio station or something, but it was about alcohol and addiction recovery stuff. And it said it's good for a person to have their mind throughout the day fixed on certain things that they have to get done, because it focuses you. And so my time at night, even if I could read scripture or study during the day, but I don't want to, because then I'll feel like, okay, I'm done, whatever I'm doing, and then I'm not looking forward to my evening time. So, this little notice, last week I went to and I know that I have paranoia, schizophrenia. No, I don't think that, but I do know I have problems, and my friends could see this, okay, my family sees this. They know, like last night, oh, Dad's going a little nuts tonight, and so some people came over. It wasn't that bad, but it was my reading time. And my wife came home, and there's a notice on my door from the code enforcement. Now look, I never have gone down there for years. The dumping fine or whatever, helping a friend drop a mattress, and they gave me a fine. It was illegal dumping. That always upset me. But the homeless friend I was helping, he had a mattress given to him. They live in the woods, they're homeless. So I was helping them carry the mattress to where they camp out. It wasn't legal, but it wasn't illegal dumping. I was just helping them. They're on the streets, they're struggling. But I got mad because they said, you will not get fined if you go pick it up, and then they did fine me. Lied. So anyway, I just always got mad. I just wanted to settle. So I've not gone to code enforcement, you know, in years, except the time I had to do that fine thing. So I went, and they had probation. Don't get another, you know, for illegal dumping. You don't, you know, dump again for 6 months and you don't have to pay it. But, so I went last week, and they could see, you know, I don't mean to look threatening, but I think they had one of the doors at City Hall was locked, and I walked up, and there was another nice black lady. She says, oh, they locked this door, we got to go around. And, you know, I'm dressed in black, but I was dressed in black. I got my glasses on, and I'm, like, walking around, and I could tell when I got in, they have, like, the entrance now to City Hall, you can't have guns. So I don't carry a gun on me. But they said you can't have a gun, you can't have a knife. I think they probably saw me walking in the other entrance and said, this guy looks like he's a little, nuts. So I went upstairs and I discussed the thing. I said, look, I just had something I wanted to settle. And so then a few days later, I get a notice from them, code enforcement. Tall weeds in front, litter and brush. They've decided me, your curbs are dirty. Now, all of this was true, and I just got up and did everything. It's all fixed. But I said, what are the odds? I've not gotten this. I don't think I've ever gotten a code enforcement thing. What are the odds that 3 days later, after me going, they would do this? And I thought, they probably targeted and said, oh, go check that guy's house. He was down here. I just don't like stuff like that. Oh, and I went off. It just, no threats. But my wife could see because she gave me the notice, and it was my reading time. See, it's the time where if I read, it helps me. So I was going to finish reading the Song of Moses. It's on the other video. Couldn't do it. And I was just like flipping a little bit. I went out. I went to the coffee shop. I don't ever go at night like that. But then my wife looked on the computer, and they actually did come to the whole neighborhood, and they cited people for a lot of things. They must have got a lot of complaints. Some people, they cited them because the numbers on their address were too small. Like mine's 966 Crossville. I guess they cited your letter. So then they put out a statement, I guess, on the community thing that, oh no, they made mistakes. They weren't supposed to. My things were legitimate, actually. I cleaned the curbs. I'm like that. I couldn't even sleep last night. So as soon as I got up, I didn't even do my normal prayer time. But I went off. I was in a... So it was good for you to see how some of my days are sometimes. In the morning or a Monday or that whole day I was struggling. Then I thought, oh, the afternoon I feel better. Then all goes off at night. So there's problems there, which I'm understanding, and I think that we all struggle. And the Pops issue, I did get a call from Pops, but I never answered my phone, okay? Some of the things, Pops is paranoid schizophrenic. And some of the stories Pops has told me since the time Pops is well known because in all the AA circles, when I was doing the AA, he relapsed because supposedly, and everybody, it's a big story here in the AA, because Pops had a relative who was injured in 9/11 when the towers came down. I think Pops made that up. I think that's a lie. Because Pops has told me other stories about how he was poisoned in the military, how he knew Lee Harvey Oswald. And I recognized, and it's not that, and Christina, who used to be Pop's roommate, realized that Pops was lying about things. And one day I told her, I said, Christina, I said, apparently Pops wasn't there. I said, I see that. I said, and sometimes they believe it themselves. I said, sometimes they're believing that. And so I tried to tell her at the time when she was roommating with Pops, I said, that's how I view it. But it is problematic because a lot of the things, Pops wanted me to help him one time. I've shared this, and he lied about the food stamps, and he had so much. And so I kind of went out of my way, and then he did it again. And I remember things. And he said, oh, they're going to expire tomorrow, John. He did that again. You're going to have to come, because he said he'd lose him. But I knew he was lying because he gave a different date. Last time it was like he'd expire on the 8th if I don't use. Now, maybe there's reasons. I don't mind helping people and going out of my way. But if people manipulate, and in the sense of many of the stories Pops told me, somebody brought up something about Swanson dinners once. And he knew the family and the lady who did the Swansons and made all and it was a whole elaborate story and the names of the family. So there's a problem. And I've shared some of the stories on the videos over time. And I thought they were true. I wasn't lying. But then I realized, so it's a problem. And I have another friend that does that. And you could see that he's lying just regularly. It's not lying to people on the street. Sometimes lie to get money for drugs and all, but this is, with these other friends, it's more of, but I don't justify it, okay? Because it is something just like any other addiction if you're that compulsively lying. I have a friend that, a lot of my friends steal things, okay? The guys I've known. But one's a real klepto, because there were times he stole things that were expensive, and he traded them for a pack of cigarettes. And people on the street said, why would he do that? He could have got $100 for the item. And we recognized that some people just, it's just the joy or the addiction of it. But those are sins. And I've never really looked at Pops in the sense like you're a liar. But I've looked at it like, oh, this is a problem. And so I want you to see. I was doing yesterday, you kind of see the real time of it. And then I got that little notice, and I thought, oh, they sent that notice right after I went to code enforcement. And it wasn't so much that I had to do clean the gutter, move some little, the yard didn't look that bad, but I did, there were legitimate things on my code violation. But the thing that upset me was I thought they just did it like, oh, this guy complained about the dumping ticket 3 years ago. And that's why you see me upset with this DA case that you're seeing with the Devin Anderson, Harris County. It's not so much that whether she had the right to charge those people. It's she knew it was unjust to do that in the Planned Parenthood video case. And then when you have that authority, whether you're a firefighter and you say, I'm going to, there were rules where people used to call us at the fire department, there's somebody burning. And even if they were burning like a little barbecue pit, I'd burn little branches here at my house, this little spot I'd burn. But you're really not supposed to, but I mean, it's really more like a barbecue pit thing. But if they called us, we'd have to go. And if people were just cooking Super Bowl barbecue, we didn't say nothing. But if it was more like a little pit, meaning a little thing on the ground, and they complained, we'd have to go out there. And we would tell them, look, finish the meat or whatever, and you'll have to put it out with your garden hose. So if people want to go after people, even in menial things like that, they can do that. That's what upsets me. Overall, I don't think they sent that code enforcement thing to my house because I went down there. They kind of saw I was upset when I went down there the other day. But I think they just messed up. And then they put, the code enforcement put on the computer, a lot of people, they were just supposed to go out to check for safety things and don't worry about some of the other things you were cited for in the neighborhood. I don't think that was true. I think they might have had a new employee or somebody that cited people for things like the address numbers were too small on their house. You might have had somebody that was like that. And they got so many complaints that they said, no, we made mistakes. I did all the things that were asked of me. Wasn't much. But that's the issue when you see me upset. And so I want you to follow. Today is Wednesday. So the first video I made was Tuesday morning. And so I read online a year ago or so how people, what is exactly, there's so many names for things, bipolar, paranoia, whatever, so many names for many things. But it said you go through like ups and downs, and I remember reading, they said if you have one of these roller coaster things, like more than 4 a year, you're diagnosed as whatever it is. And I thought it was a typo, because I thought at the time, I made a joke about it. I said, I have like 4, I have this every day almost. Like Mondays, well, now you say, well, you're doing it to yourself because you should be on medication. No, I don't. I would never be on those medications. I would never be on those medications for that. And I'm very strict on all that. And if people are on them, that's okay. Most of my friends know I'm very strict. I don't take nothing for nothing. So I just wanted you to see. I thought I'd do this. It might help me a little because I was a little, very, my kids knew because when I went to the coffee shop, I was like upset when I left the house, and I think my wife tells the kids, "Oh, Dad's, in an episode." I think that's what they say, because the kids were at the house, parked in the driveway. My daughter drove up when I was doing the code enforcement cleaning, and I could see she looked at me funny, like I must have been out there like mad, digging the crap out of the gutter in the street. So, this was it, just a little update. And I want you to see that about Pops. And it's not that I hold any of that against Pops, but I noticed there was a pattern. And the stories were very elaborate, and famous people that he knew, and I knew that Pops was doing that. And we shouldn't, I don't want to make light of that, because even if you say you have a sickness and it causes you to do that, we knew people over the years, firehouse volunteers, whoever, that, this guy, he just likes to tell stories. And it maybe makes people feel better, but it's important not to do that. Okay, it's important. A lot of people, when they ask me if I'm retired, I always say yes, and I did 25 years. Why? Because you got people that were volunteer firemen, never firefighters, and they go around saying they're retired firefighters, and I don't like that, because they never were a paid firefighter, and you have guys that worked only for a few years as firemen, and maybe got injured, and left that way. So I tell people it's full retirement, 25. People used to say, "Oh, you look young." Look, I've been retired since 2008. It's 2016, and they were telling me back now, like last year, you look too young, like I was lying. I'm like, no, I don't need the credit for it. I just want people to know, because people, they lie to, make their image look better. They lie to, and I'm not perfect. I'm just simply saying all of that upsets me. So you get to see a little bit. You follow. I think I shared that. So I had a Monday good, or Monday not good. Then Tuesday in the morning still. Then in the afternoon I was feeling good, and then got home. Was going to read. Got the code enforcement, and I just was like in a, lost it. Could not read. Wanted to read that scripture. Just my mind. I could not. So red. Rolling Stones painted black. Okay? The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Okay? God bless everybody.